Welcome to another edition of the Post-Game Wrap. I'm Jared Johnson, and Texas Tech hammered number 6 Kansas 79-50 on Big Monday on a big stage, obviously, ESPN, the mothership, and it really wasn't ever that close. Texas Tech led almost the entire game. The game was tied once, but the Red Raiders really dominated throughout. It was an undermanned Kansas team, don't get me wrong. Leading scorer Kevin McCullough was out. But let me tell you something, and of course, former Red Raider Kevin McCullough. Let me tell you something. Injuries are a big part of what goes on during a college basketball season. Big 12 is rough and tumble. And look, nobody's going to feel bad for you or feel sorry for you if you're Texas Tech when you're, let's say, without Warren Washington on the road against Baylor. The Red Raiders played a lot better in Waco than Kansas played in Lubbock Monday night, that's for sure. And tipped the cap to Texas Tech. They came out and put it on Kansas. And Daren Williams, what a monster game for him. 30 points, 11 rebounds. He had 3 assists, 2 steals. He was perfect from the field, 12 for 12 from the field, including 4 three-pointers. He made both his free throw attempts. Just a great performance from Daren Williams. He was one of only 2 Red Raiders in double-digit scoring, and that was Warren Washington, Tech center, who had 11 points. But Robert Jennings came off the bench and in 20 minutes had 8 points and 6 rebounds. So good game for him as well. Pop Isaacs and Joe Toussaint didn't shoot very well, but had a pretty good floor game overall. They didn't turn the ball over too much. And I think perhaps for me, team-wise, what was most impressive was the way Texas Tech rebounded Monday night. 42-26 was the advantage on the boards for the Red Raiders against the Jayhawks. And don't get me wrong, Kansas is not a very good rebounding team either, but that's been Tech's Achilles heel. That's when they've gotten beat the most, is when, really, when you think about it, if their 2 guards have off nights and then they get out-rebounded. But that wasn't the case. Kansas is one of the top defensive rebounding teams now in the Big 12, but I think they're the worst, so they were the worst going into the game against Texas Tech in terms of offensive rebounding. So I thought that might even out and that Tech would be able to hold their own. I didn't think they'd dominate, out-rebound Kansas by 16 on the way to a 29-point victory. So really a historic victory in terms of the margin of defeat. Kansas Hall of Fame coach Bill Self was even ejected. You could tell he was basically asking for it. He didn't want to be out there anymore. I think there was like 5-6 minutes left to go in the game. It was over, and you could tell he had seen enough, he had enough, and he was ejected. So great win for Texas Tech. Now that's 2 in a row. They had that stretch where they dropped 3 in a row. You know, they got hit by the flu, and the ebb and flow of the season that Mighty Joe and I was talking about, last week, and how important it was to beat UCF and then set up a big opportunity at home against Kansas on Monday night. They took care of business in a really ugly game against UCF, but they won. And then now they've crushed Kansas. So big win for Texas Tech. Now they have, yet another tough game. This one, on paper even, is tougher at Iowa State, which that's always a very difficult. Hilton Coliseum is one of the toughest places to play year in and year out. Iowa State is a very good team. I believe they're ranked 10th right now in the AP poll. So really tough game for Texas Tech coming up, 11 a.m. Saturday at Hilton Coliseum. But hey, they're riding a 2-game winning streak. Big win in terms of the big picture of the season, the resume, and all that. But also. And Big 12, by the way, in the Big 12 race. But also, big win in terms of a 29-point victory over the Kansas Jayhawks. Great performance all around by Texas Tech. I thought Chance McMillan played well. But it was Daren Williams' night. I mean, it was the whole team's night, don't get me wrong. But Daren Williams was perfect from the field. 12 for 12, 30 points, 11 rebounds. Great game from him. And I love to see it because he's a very unselfish player. He does a little bit of everything, and that was what we thought he would be coming into the season. And man, he has lived up to expectations. And I would say probably way surpassed those expectations. So great performance from him against Kansas. Big win for Texas Tech, and then they have some time to rest. And they certainly looked healthy and pretty rested tonight, but they get some more opportunity to get ready for Iowa State on the road there in Ames. But for now, well, thank you for watching, and until next time.